Hello everybody, we're live. Back to documents, yay! Almost finished, only like less than 20 left, so we should be done in like the next 20 minutes, and then maybe we could play a bit of Age of Empires 3. You know, like, maybe that's what we want to do. Maybe just start the other thing. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I'm getting frustrated with documents. I think that there is no date. It's very unclear what they are. There's money and land. It's frustrating. I. Hmm. 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 Domini Positus Canonica Capitulum Canonicus Sant'Ambrosio Mediolani Eque Ministro Gilberto Solominus Hinc de Olona Castello Silum Quis Qualibet Also, I guess I cannot read very well. That's probably why I'm like confused. In Caesit Petrus parte territorio di Carpagnate. Hey Joe, nice. You can see me analyze my documents. Facisse Arboris. How are you doing? I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Cunningham. Ad diffindum et excusandum. I think this is a list of dues to the monastery for land. Call this a land record. Also, there is no date, which is really annoying. Where do you go? Where do you walk to? My God and my Lord, have mercy on me. Why do people ruin documents? Shoot, that's bad. This is a accommodazioni. There's a exchange of land. We don't know when. We don't know when. God. Frustrating. And this is blurry. So I think I'm gonna put this, the one I don't know, in 1299, because I think they're saying in the 12th century, 13th century. That's what the writing is like. That's alright, no worries. Who is Big Man Mike? Hello. I'm doing well, thanks. Is that? Oh. Hello, how are you doing? You can behold some history. These are documents from the 12th, 13th century. This is 13th century. We don't know the actum. We don't know where the document was written. Chaplaincy, I assume you guys are in chaplaincy? Number 1. Omnia, acciones. Rebus commutatis et pro ipsis rebus quasi eos conventus actum in ipso loco Treziano, which I think is Treziano sul Naviglio, which is somewhere in Lombardy. It's a pretty trip. How are you, Michael Ward? How are you doing? I am not Cellino, my friend. I don't know which flank I'll be a part of. Some people know my name, it's alright. It's not. I think it's not an exchange actually. Nice. I am Chelico, Mr. Michael Ward. Mr. Big Bad Mike. Chilino is the shop down the road. Close. I'm glad. They're very good. How's uni going? You're in third year now, right? Or fourth year? Third. I forget. I hate blurry documents, man. Why? I am bad at taking pictures. Bye. Bye. Luca Cellino. Cellino with 2 L's in Italian means a person that's part of the CL movement. 12.95 payment. So the stream used to be much more me transcribing things, and it has turned into me working because my transcription has gotten pretty good. Yo. Of course, nothing can save you from bad pictures. It is a 606 12.95 and it's a payment. How did your brother find my talk last month? Did he tell you about it? Actum Chronica something play something Ambrosi. Aio. It's 12.90 something. Another payment. But I agree, Joe. But actually, it's not. Look, 12.90 nonagesimo something. Maybe I'm gonna put 5 because that was a maybe quinto, maybe settimo, maybe quarto. We have a contentus et confessus. Hey, I took more than 5,000 of these, okay? But yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible. I didn't bash it. I told you this is normal. That happens when you just begin. Remember? Everybody does this. I took a lot of pictures though. In my defense, I did like actually 5,000 documents, around 10,000 plus pictures I took. So you know, there is also that, and also you can read this. But yeah, it's terrible, and I'm really sad. There are so many of them. I think like at least 10% of my documents are very blurry. Which is a pain, to be honest. God. It also very much... Besides they're broken as well. Come on, look at this. Another payment. It also depends on when in my summer this was. Like, the earlier are the worst, of course, because I was still learning. It's incredible how much, like... Nope, this is 13th, 12th, 14th century. We don't care. 1298. Investi with non locationis documents actually. The office is pretty quiet these days, isn't it? It's not bad. It's never used to be so good for working. I'm glad it's a bit better than it used to be. Actum subtus porticum illus canonice. Isn't that cool? They're like under the arches of the canonry they were writing, sitting on a wee table, smoking a weed, no weed, a pipe, drinking a glass of wine. The payment. Convocato e congregato capitolo Ecclesiae Santi Ioannis de Dixano Mediolani diocesi per discretum virum dominum ottonem juvataxium preposito edem ecclesia. In Ecclesia Santa Maria Porte Vercellesi per lites litteras edem domini propositi ipsis conventibus in ipsa ecclesia videlicet predicti dominis propositus et domini Philippus Tadonus Jacobus Benedictus presbytero Otto Mastraronus nomine Jacobi Zavattari cuius producus est Procums et Maffeus ecclesia. Do we have date? Yeah, 99. I think this is a dispute, probably. Oops. Maybe not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's an election of. Yeah, maybe it is an election. Yeah. It's an election of the holder of the church in Garbagnate. Do we have date? Oh yeah, it's actually San Giovanni de Cizano. Maybe Cizano. Oh, another one that's actually this is illegible. Look at this madness. What is this? Hashtag sad life. I'm gonna have to skip that, unfortunately, which is sad. 612, too unfocused. 1297. Contentus fui de confesso aliprandus ciccià. Sometimes I wonder why some documents are where they are. This is about not the canonical San Ambrogio. Oh, that is actually. Easy see payment from them. Actum in camera frate. Okay. Millesimo trecentesimo. That's 14th century. Outside of my scope. This is also 14th century, I bet. I can find a date. No, 1299. Actum Mediolani. Nice. 615 actually, not 14. It's a dispute. It's in 1299. Look how much the writing changes. Like this is already quite different, the style from the earlier 13th century. It's pretty cool to be able to notice that, I must say. Partite il lampo. 12, no, 14th century. Aio. Which one? This guy or this guy? Dr. We might play some Aoe4 soon, I must say, because I only have 8 more documents to go through of this card flurry. This guy's nice, and it is pretty cool. I really like how I'm able to more or less see the different writings. Although some styles are quite different, even in the same century. Centesimo, blurry. Let me write down that 617 blurry. This is a dispute. Please give me a day. Please give me a day. Please give me a day. How are you, Dr. How was your day yesterday? I hear that Aoe4 is going well. Id in terram competuti diure errogatis predicte cive omnia facere deberis salvo iure addendum. It minuendi. Ye bastard. I'm really curious why sometimes I don't put dates in things. Hey, I'm glad. That's good. That's good. You think it's down to your sleeping problems? The headache you had before? Huh. Probably. Oh, yeah, also you moved and stuff. Maybe it's just, could it be stress from the move and stuff like that? Is this even a dispute? Maybe it's not even a dispute. Maybe it's a land like acquisition. Yesterday I made like a really salty stir fry. And I was like, why am I so thirsty? Like, oh. It's like, that's probably why. Then you get your mouth feels like super dry. This may be not a dispute at all. This seems more like a acquisition of land. Huh. Interesting. Oh yeah, you remember that, yeah. The much MSG. MSG? SMG? No, it's SMG submachine gun. That's not what you want. This seems like a sale. We're talking about territory, we're talking about money. The money is exchanged. It's way too many SMGs. All the SMGs. Mm. Huh. I put 1299 just because this seems the right script. And the wrong location. Man, this is a weird document. Okay. Oi, 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 oi. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? Look at this. Look. What's this cut off? I love my picture. The picture is so bad. I'm like, it's almost the whole document. You know, it just that's good. That's practically right. It's almost half of it. That should be fine. Oh God. I guess I was hungry when I did this or something. I don't know. Damn, Daniel. I know, and like I can't blame anybody else but me. It's one of those ones, It's like, oh, it's my fault. I need to skip this. I need to skip both of them. Skip both of them, which is a shame. Let's see. I think I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, 7 out of 600 is not that bad that I cannot read at all. I'm sure it's more than that, to be honest. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's only 7 out of 600 and something. It's not so bad. Breve Terrum. Ah, we know what that is. Just a list. I love that they put like, this is Languion. It's like a Witcher paper. Like, cold. Cold, 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 cold. Winter has come. Well, it's autumn actually, but 299, no location, because this is a Breve Terrum. We don't get locations here. Hiyo. Hiyo. My god. When I'm gonna get to heaven, hopefully, the Lord will be like, "What happened to those pictures, man?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know." It's 50 yesterday. I love this weather. Gonna go for a walk later before my haircut. Ooh, you get a haircut? That's cool. Ego. It's the last document. Ego moradus ferrarius canonicus sancti ambrosium et syndicus ipsis canonice seu ecclesiae. Nice. What's the undercut? What's the undercut? Constat proprie quorum in non impediat me nomine ipsa ecclesia canonice ed ipsam ecclesia me canonica viace intellettuale Cereto in Potadello. Ecclesia canonica possessione ipsi pezzi terra est. This is like a declaration. I own this land, don't bother me. Yeah, it's a renunciation. This guy's saying, you guys own the land. And this should mark, I think. Afternoon, does it give me a date? Give me a date. Come on. This is a strange particular thing. I don't know how to describe it. Send a picture on the stream on the Discord. It's shaved in the back, but only at the bottom of the head near the neck. Oh yeah, okay. So this part here. This part here, kind of thing. I see. Dude, I only, my haircut is like very short. Long, 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 long. Very short. Long, 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 long. Very short. That's it. That's all I do for it. Okay, I think that's the card story, isn't it? It is a card story. It is. It is a card story, and dumbly another. Yes, I did 650 documents in a week. It's not bad. You can see all the covers, which I took out of order. Okay, so now what's gonna happen? I'm gonna upload this to my database. And then play some Aoe4. What do you think? Are you in for that? Or are you only for watching? I'm probably gonna, if you don't join me, I'm gonna probably play a game by myself, 1-1v1. Is yes in you're gonna play with me? Turning up? Let me text Elizard. Let me ask Elizard if he's join. All right, wait, before that though, I need to upload all these documents into my database, because otherwise... Once, you know what I've done? So, you know I do it, right? I showed you before. Where I have like a file where I upload, I write down all the data. Once I almost deleted it because I thought it was already uploaded and it wasn't. And I was like, wait, let me just check if I actually put all this stuff in. And it was like 1,000+ documents. It wasn't a fun moment, I must say. It wasn't a fun moment, let me... Please. What? 132. I didn't put the location. What document is that? 132 is 131. Okay. You're gonna see some a little bit of, what's it called? This is debugging. I don't think there is any. That's fine. Debug time. Yes. Hey, only one mistake in the whole thing. That's great. Okay. I'm down for some Aoe4. Let me change. What is it, chat? I need to, what do I need to do? I need to firstly change the name of the stream to probably a time, probably I'll finish a normal time, maybe a little bit. Okay. Let me move my camera a little bit. Want to join a voice call as well, Dr. Ba, or just, or not? All right, the character is finished. If anybody's wondering why I'm not doing work. If Joe, you're like, I'm working, why are you not working? I'm like, I did my work today. I did 650 documents in a week. In 4 days, actually. Okay, this is too loud. What's the volume like on the stream, by the way? Let me fit this properly. No, we got no Elizabeth today, unfortunately. That's sad.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, Dr. Ba. Hello. Welcome. What's the volume like on stream? Of the game? Can you hear me, by the way? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Oops, no, don't go to that. That's bad. it doesn't capture properly, which is really weird. Because if you look at my screen, it's actually not the full screen, which is kind of weird. I've been playing a little bit. I'm having a good time in Age of Empires for whatever, I must say.
Yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing the campaign, the Norman campaign.
Right? Is it good?
You know what? I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Most of which I have a lot of problems with the emphasis of like military history over other types of history, but
right.
That's not the game's fault necessarily.
Yeah, that's not the. That's a different. That's the. I guess it's because it's a game as well, right? It is an interesting point, but isn't it's a lot harder to display other histories.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like how do you balance, right? Like the needs of a game that needs fun and playable.
Yeah.
And like what's the most kind of popular playable kinds of games that's got violence and fighting in it.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get love for that. I think I prefer games where there's action.
You prefer what?
So the multiplayer.
No, that's not what I want.
I can invite you to my group.
Did you invite me? Oh, just do it. Hey, nice. Excellent. Have you practiced hard?
Not just play. Do you want to play each other? Hold on. I actually haven't set one of these matches up before.
We can do two things. We can either play each other, or we can play on 2v2 if you want. Probably each other is more relaxed.
No, let's play each other. I'm not ready. Okay. I was on the Aoe subreddit. They are vicious.
Sorry. You were in what subreddit?
The AoE, like the Age of Empires bit.
They're intense.
And these people, they're intense. So how do we set up one versus each other?
So the way you do it is you play multiplayer, and then you go to custom. I think.
There it is.
Yeah, and then I think you do create a game. Oh, you need to do it. I should leave the group. Because you are the group leader. Hey, there we are. Hold on. You gonna play French? Nice. I'm gonna try different. Go on.
I'm gonna play the English, I think.
English are really good. I'm really good at English. I'm gonna try the Holy Roman Empire. Right?
I'll be fine.
Why not? Why not? Yeah. Maps, are you happy with this one? Gigantic map. You can go to map setup. Should we do small or medium? Let's go for small, because small is still pretty big, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh.
I hear you pretty poorly. I wonder why. Is it strange? Is it my computer or your side?
It might be my side. I've got my headphones on, but I think they've got low battery.
Huh. Because I hear you with a bit of static in between. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's me. Yeah, very possible. Maybe. But I'm ready. Sorry. My bad. Got it. Press ready. Oh, I start really fast. Anyway. Because I generally hear you very well. Maybe it's because I'm streaming to my things and computer is like, what are you doing, you crazy person?
I wonder if it's my talk settings again. Seems to always be the issue.
What, Discord settings?
Oh.
They also change by themselves, so it's probably my word checking what's happening with them. Okay. Speaking German. Joanna might be happy with this. Okay, I never played the whole Roman Empire before.
German? Oh, that's disappointing.
Sorry?
They're speaking German? That's a little disappointing.
Why?
I don't know, it feels like they should be speaking Latin. If we're at 800, I didn't see what year we're starting in, but...
That is true, actually. I mean, maybe this is not German? I've been said that the signature was in German, no? That was German and French, right? Or Charlemagne's the sons.
I mean,
Not fully German. It is German.
Right, yeah, to the extent where it's like, you know, at 800, how much language differentiation, there we go, do we actually have? And like, I'm not a linguist, so I really can't
I have no idea, right? But I think it's probably quite a bit, probably, to be honest.
I reckon it probably, like I wonder if it's more dialect. Well, then again, I don't know, because like, Germanic languages are going to be different from the Latin. So they're going to sound anyway.
I mean, I think the bigger problem with this, the Holy Roman Empire means nothing at all to nobody, right? What the heck is Holy Roman Empire?
Right, yeah, right. A little bit of a missing.
There is that. That's a problem. But not what we would call German today. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. Oh, of course. I'm aware of that. Certainly. John is saying on the stream, on the chat, that Charlemagne would not have really spoken anything close to German now, but...
Right, yeah. It would have been like some sort of early predecessor, you know, necessarily, we would consider.
Yeah, I hear you barely at all. That's problematic. That's weird.
That is weird. Let's see. Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries. Ooh, sheep. That's interesting. Oh. This map sucks. Where's my gold mine? That's gold. Very cool. Fine, sorry. I found out. Oh, chopped up close by trees. You little lady. What are you doing? But Joe, this is not normal German, isn't it?
Can you hear me better now?
A lot. Oh my god, that's a lot better. What do you do?
I don't know. I just changed the settings on something.
Okay, now I can actually hear you. That's nice.
All right, cool.
Lol. That's funny. I really couldn't hear you at all before. Alright, okay. Nice.
I was going to suggest maybe it's your hearing. You need to get a hearing test.
Maybe it's my hearing. It's my fault, isn't it? Probably.
Alright, you... Let's see, what do I want you to do?
Let me see. Audio, speech volume. Let's see, maybe we can hear them better now. Wait.
I can hear you fine,
No,
which is the...
Can you hear it better now, Joe? The voices? Because she was saying that she can hear the voices very well. I'm asking, because we have a German in the chat. That's why.
Oh, I closed Switch.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. No, I'm just saying that we have a German chat, that's why I'm like... What am I even doing? I'm not being competitive right now.
I swear to God, if you kill my scout again, I might cry.
Don't cry. That's a bit. Oh,
Is that a wolf? Oh
yeah,
God, that's a wolf. It's gonna.
Yeah, I think in theory, Joe, they were saying that the length, because but it's not actually. Apparently, theoretically, according to the rumors I heard, it's supposed to be more or less time-accurate language. So I guess it's a Proto-German thing. Because it definitely is not.
It'd be really fascinating to talk to a linguist about this, like someone who studies these early European languages.
For sure.
Oh no! I think a wolf got one of my sheep.
Oh no!
Damn it!
Bastards!
Right.
Damn wolves!
Yeah. All right, you go in there.
How much? I have more gold. I need more gold. Build a house.
Always be spending money. That's my takeaway.
Yes, I'm not doing a good job of that myself, but I'm glad you are. Yeah. Who needs?
I've got so many like little villagers just doing a thing. Got sheep, a dead sheep. Thanks, that wolf. Thank you.
You can use it anyway, as long as it doesn't need a sheep. Oh, we bet. Where's that guy even go?
I don't. That's the thing. I don't want to hurt the sheep. I just want them to stay where they are.
You know, you can if you press Q, if you use your scout, and then press Q and click on your town center or any building, the sheep will stay there.
I did know that. Yeah, I was.
Oh, nice. Good. Hey. I discovered it like the other day, so.
Yeah, I did that. I think on my like second campaign, and I was just like, wait, what? I can take you somewhere?
I can actually guide you. Okay, I have way too much food as usual. I always have too much food.
I need more food. These people need to hurry the hell up.
Hurry the heck up, my friend. Okay, let's build. Ooh, fancy. Ooh, pellets. I might make the Haken chapel. Not there. Oh man, I built in a random place. Oh well. Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, the Roman Empire is the idea is kind of dumb, I must say, because like, what was the Holy Roman Empire? That wasn't just Germany. That was like a whole bunch of places, no? Including Italy.
Oh right, and then like it's not like it stays in Germany this whole time, you know. And also the idea of calling it Germany is, you know, highly problematic and maybe not entirely accurate, but yeah, it's like I get it, it's a shorthand.
Oh yeah,
and that's
that's for sure.
You know.
But I don't like it. Well, yeah, no, I don't think any historian likes the shorthand of the Holy Roman Empire because it's too inaccurate. For sure. I
know, it's such a loaded term that it just kind of doesn't have any meaning anymore.
It doesn't have much meaning. I guess fortunately at least it's not loaded so much in terms of what's it called? Oh come on. In terms of
sheep alone.
Sorry?
No, sorry, I'm talking to my scout. He was gonna kill my sheep, and I think I misclicked on something.
You know, like, don't you dare kill my sheep. Where are you even? I don't even find you yet. Must be here.
Just chilling in my corner of the universe. Nice. NBD.
NBD?
No big deal.
Oh.
Alright, what are you... Oh no, you're not a person, you're a sheep.
Oh, there you are. Finally, I see you. Hello. Oh, you're English, aren't you? Ow. 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 Help it! That's German.
Where are you?
I probably should get some stone as well. Let's get some stone. Do you know how to use short hotkeys, by the way?
I do, but I don't really use them very often. I know I like... during the tutorial, they kind of teach you how to use...
Right.
Yeah, but it's like... I don't know. I'm never very good with hotkeys, so...
That's fine. When you start playing with more, you get to... Look at this cute house! It's like a wee garden. That's so nice. Oh, fancy. You kind of do get used up to them eventually, to be honest. Must be said. Ow, okay. I am now in the castle age. No, what's feudal age? Feudal age. I can't believe I call it a feudal age. That's still a name. I'm so harsh in this game for being historically not very accurate. But calling stuff, the whole age thing is kind of silly, isn't it? That's also another silly thing of this game.
I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting marker, like, you know, because we do classify things into like eras and periods, and it's a very, I guess, historic-minded idea. But like this, yeah, the idea that we can kind of be like, okay, this one thing is what determines the eras, that's ridiculous. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's of course doesn't happen. But I'm not just saying that, I also mean, how to make prelates? Sorry, I'm just like confused. From here. I also mean from, not here. Oh. The whole idea of the Dark Age and the Feudal Age, they're a bit weird name of ages, and then get into the Imperial Age in the 15th century. It's like,
oh yeah, like that's very outdated.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking about. It's like, fair enough, we did the Renaissance and whatever, right? But it's like the Dark Age and the what?
Yeah, I mean, as a medievalist, I have a lot of feelings about the term the Dark Age, but
Yeah, especially medievalists of the 12th century, for sure. We are especially.
I get it though. Like, if that makes it easier for like the lay person, you know,
That is true.
I kind of
That's true. That's a good point. You still there, yeah?
As long as they're understanding it, I guess that's the important part.
Yes, you get people into history school, for sure. For sure. I need more wood and less random things. Oh, you can change the direction of things. What?
Can you? Wait, how? How did you do that?
I don't know. I just pressed something and it was a different direction. Because if you use Alt, you can go to the different camera setting, and Alt you can move your camera around, and that we know. And more wood.
Alright, where the hell is my scout? How do I find him?
If I control comma should do something.
No.
You didn't do
That's
it?
not him.
Sorry.
Where the hell is my scout?
Oh, I make prelates from. My God, I don't remember. Sorry,
it led me somewhere, just not my actual scout. Okay, well, I guess he's dead.
Oh, you can make from your town center. W makes a scout.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to. I have one scout, and that's just it.
That's it. It's done. He died. It's his own fault. You know, should be more careful.
All right, you.
Okay, inspire workers, my friend. Inspire these woodworkers.
Ye old town.
It is pretty German. I like her chilling so much in this game right now. They're like, eh.
Oh my God, I have no food. Whoops.
Oh, oops. That's a problem. Farms, man. You're English. Your farms are awesome. You should consider making farms.
That's fine. There we go. I'm your worker.
I'm your worker. That's great.
Alright, you can go here. Yeah, you do that work that I assigned you. Alright, why are you sitting here? You've got a sickle in your hand. You clearly want... Jesus. There's no freeloaders in my town.
Freeloaders in my town. The law is spoken. Dr. Bad has spoken. Oh, they... So 3, 2, house. What does the influence do?
What does what do?
Because Holy Roman Empire, you can make workers work faster with priests.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I find it a pretty fun idea, to be honest. Like, hey, you know what we can do? Priests make people work faster. That's like this. You know. No, I'm definitely really enjoying this game for sure.
So how does one control a sacred site?
You need to, when you get to the 3rd age, you can make a monastery, and the guy that comes from a monastery gives you the ability to control your site. You can make a bishop control your site. Then you need to stand on it for a while, and yeah.
Alright, cool.
So you need to get to the 3rd age, basically. Ooh, should we do that? Should we do that as victory condition? Let's win by controlling sacred sites instead of killing each other.
I mean, fine. Just building up a tiny army for nothing, I guess.
Do it. Come find me. Also, an army.
No, I am terrible with the mechanics of this game. I clearly need practice.
To be honest, the way army works, you press A and click. You know? That's how fighting works in this game.
That's true. But I'm not very... like they were trying to teach me how to do an ambush in the one of the campaign things.
Right. And you were
Couldn't
like,
do it.
Cannot. Doesn't work. Okay. Come on.
I just don't understand what they were trying to teach me. I guess.
They don't work very well in this game, I must say.
Eat your worka. All right. Great. Build me more houses then. Thank you.
Ooh, what's this?
Alright, I guess I will begrudgingly make a move. Alright.
I don't need something from wall cold, do I? Probably not. Okay, make a keep? Ooh,
Oh yeah, the keep's awesome.
let's do some keeps. Okay, monastery. You have control group 6. Wait! My prelate? Can he control? Oh, whoa! Oh, it's not you. I thought it was you attacking me. I was like, whoa, calm down, lady.
There's a random marketplace here. That's good to know.
Yeah, if you make, you know how it works, right?
I don't. No, I don't.
So you need to build in your W the market. So you press WW on a worker.
Right.
That builds a thing, a market, where you can build traders, and you click on the marketplace or trading post. It will trade, and it grants you gold.
That's cool. I actually didn't realize. I thought it would do it automatically if you just built one. I didn't. Enemy capturing. Oh no, you don't. No. I'm a.
You sure? Are you gonna stop me, young lady?
Oh.
Stop me if you can. I'm not playing well at all this game. Ah! So many things going on. I have like no army and I'm being all cocky, I don't know why. I have like, you know I told you you spend money? I have like a ton of resources. Which is not good. So give me... Is that... Oh, whatever. Okay, right.
Oh no! All right, retreat!
Wait, will it work? Did I convert your stuff?
I think you did. Oh
yes.
God. All right.
That was cool. Sorry, I was watching a streamer do this, and he didn't know what was happening, and he lost all his like elephants and stuff, and he was like, what? Oh, you have a thing here? Have you kings?
Yeah. Hey! Leave my landmark alone, man! What the hell?
Fine, I will. I like her like, what? How dare you attack my landmark? Stay here.
Alright.
Go gather stone, people. I built the wrong thing. I'm an idiot. Oops. Okay. Probably should build some.
Das soll mich überleben.
Was sind die Marschiere zum Sieg?
Gefertigt.
This game is pretty fun, I must say. I secretly enjoy this game.
I don't think it's a secret.
It's good.
Oh, I found my scout! Oh, you
Yeah.
stupid scout. He was just sitting there. I just couldn't see him.
Hanging out. You know?
Bereit, etwas Arbeit zu
Good on me. Love it. Better action makes people work even faster. Keeps up nice. Ooh, you know what I should build?
Was soll getan werden? Gehören alle. Gern aber nach Geheiß.
Alright. Questawala.
Ich werde das für dich errichten.
Let's see. What do I want next?
Zieh zum Gewehrgrund. Gern aber nach Geheiß.
Was wünschest du?
Da 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 da. Eat your word. They need to say something different though.
They really do. It gets long. It gets boring. Not boring. It gets
Yeah,
long pretty fast.
you're like, okay, we get it. Eat your work. Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Zieht ab, Orte zu besuchen.
Was sind die Geheiße an meine Arbeit?
Come on.
Den
There you
Geheiß,
go,
sie
Lucas.
haben nach Geheiß.
Oh my god, what?
Alles ist bereit.
We said
God.
win
Well,
by
you're-
secret sites, right?
Jesus Christ, like, you went right to it. Well, you're gonna win then, I guess, because I'm not even ready to do that.
You can stop me from doing it, right? You can kill my if you. I need to hold them for 10 minutes. It is not automatic,
Oh.
unfortunately. She said. You like you use a scout to fight well. Probably should.
Kriegsknechte. Bereit zu gehabt. Wache, vier als Muskeln.
Oh my god, you killed my scout.
I did.
Monster.
Tue ich das nun.
I feel really bad.
No, you don't.
I don't at all. Oh,
Alright.
yeah, talk to me. Ah! Ah! Army! Slowly walk all the way here. Okay. I should. Ooh, horse stables. Sounds good. Give me some. Oh, my keep.
Zieh zum Geheiß.
Whoa. I ran through a whole.
Lasse das alsdann bauen. Gewortet alle. Zieht zum Ort.
You know what makes things.
Oh my god.
Why are you building lady women to the thing? I was like, yeah, just joining up. You
Oh
know?
my god, you're just gonna murder them? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Ruhe das nun.
Alright. Clearly I need to up my strategy here.
I think.
Ruhe. Marschieren mit mir.
Yeah.
Folge
I am enjoying this thing.
Rede nur fort.
We have 8 minutes to do stuff, so. And you just need to stop me from. It's quite easy to actually stop. Oh, I need to build some. What's it called? Siege engines for sure. That'll be good.
Oh my god. This is so intense, I don't even know like where to start. Alright, you need to do, let's see, wouldn't you do this?
Tue das nun. Jawohl.
I can just do that. That's so cheeky. I'm such a cheeky person. I love the word. Cheeky is such a cool word, to be honest. I must say, I like the word cheeky.
Everyone makes fun of me for it when I use it in the US. They're like, oh, cheeky, eh? And it's like, yes, cheeky.
It
Like
is
numpty.
cheeky. Like numpty.
Like
That's
there's-
a great word.
Numpty is such a, it's such a strange word.
Why?
I don't know. It's just kind of the strangest slang word I've ever heard.
Is it a slang word?
Well, maybe not slang, but it's like shorthand.
For what? What should I follow?
Or like nonce. That's another like very British word.
You said nuns?
Yeah, nonce. Like Nonce. Oh my god. Wow, alright, you straight up murdered me.
Did I?
You did.
Go check the Thirsticker site on the bottom. I made a huge wall of it and I'm very proud of it. When have I killed you? Need more food?
I don't know, I guess I had someone who wandered over there and you
just
slayed
yeah.
them.
That's probably the case, yeah, don't wander over there. I'm just like not being very fast, but that's okay I think, right? I have so much gold, what am I doing? Yeah, trading is great, actually. I'm noticing. Look at that, isn't it cool? I made a wall around it.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. I'm like, I know. Whoa, it's fine.
I can't believe you! Oh my god.
Eine gut gemachte Arbeit.
Eine gut gemachte Arbeit. Oh, job well done.
Ich handle so wie du befehlst.
Oh my god. I just don't think there's any way I'm gonna be able to neutralize. I don't think I know what I'm doing well enough.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's probably the case. That's fine.
Alright.
I quite like Sacred Set stuff. It's pretty fun.
Gute Arbeit. Schöner Bau.
Gute Arbeit.
Befehlche kommen. Diese für den Handwerk?
Yeah, I think I much prefer the playing like slow kind of village building versus the 1v1 kind of things where it just goes so quickly.
I think we've been playing for like half an hour, you know?
That feels quick to me though.
I mean, it's interesting, right? Because I agree, like, it seems fast, but actually think about it. We've been playing for a long time.
So like, alright, compared to like a half hour in Crusader Kings.
Yeah, this
you
was
know,
fast. Yeah. Nothing
it
happens.
just this goes so like there's so many more moving parts that you have to kind of keep on top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And to be honest, we're playing quite chill now, right? Like when you play online you're like, well, you're not perfect, you're dead. Like, oh shit. You know? By the way, look. I'm gonna kill your villagers. You're monks. I'm gonna kill your monks now. With a cannon. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh my god.
So bad.
You just have keeps by all of the sites. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this.
You need to build a siege force. Well, I don't think... How are you doing money-wise and economy-wise? Because ideally
like
you build a big enough army that you just overwhelm me, right? That's it, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I just don't think I have enough resources to do that.
You probably... Well... Oh, hello. Yeah, that's not... Is that all your army?
Oh god, yeah, no, I'm fucked. Clearly I need to do more of these tutorials.
Do you want to watch me play a game? I mean, I'm not very good, but maybe I can...
Oh my god, that was brutal.
That was brutal.
That was
yeah.
brutal.
I win.
I I honestly, so I don't play a lot of these resource management games, so I'm not super surprised that this.
No, it's fine.
Well, I think
it's not
like,
not a competition anyway. We're playing for fun anyway, right? It's like.
I think the one I've played the most and probably similar would be The Sims, which is a non-violent. Yeah, like these games, I think it's just there's so many like moving parts.
Yeah.
That I find it really overwhelming to be like, oh my god, this is all happening in like real time. Oh my god, you're gonna raise my village?
Should I? I'm just walking around. Let me walk back. I just want to see how you're doing.
Oh my god.
I want. We're just passing by. So I think something I'm been working on a little bit because I'm also overwhelmed by this game, to be honest. Like I will not lie. I'm not saying, oh, I'm great, everything is fine. This game is definitely a lot as all these games are. And a good way that I've been thinking on it, like maybe okay, I'm gonna focus only on building. I said I spent all my money to build archers and spearmen, right? And try to build as many as I can, as fast as I can, kind of thing. Here I'm just playing with a new civilization, so I don't know.
I honestly just I just don't think I guess I don't know enough about resource management games because it's like this seems crazy fast to me. Like I know we've been playing for like a half hour, but
yeah,
woof.
it's fast. Yeah, it was fast, huh? Interesting. I might be in Imperial Age, yeah. It's interesting, yeah. I don't.
Was hast du nötig von mir?
Oh, you attack me?
Oh, I'm not attacking anyone.
It's a wolf, sorry. Yeah, nice. Victory!
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
You crushed me.
I feel a little bit. Actually, I feel really bad, to be honest. I hope I didn't destroy your one to play game. It's
just a little.
I must say, RTS games are really hard.
Yeah, this is
not
so outside what I usually play.
But you're doing fine, right? Like I think you know the basics, like how to work it. If you really want to be okay in it, I would honestly you can not try. Because it takes a little bit of time, right? No, not because you can. It just takes time, a little bit of time, and then you might be like, "Why am I spending time in getting better at Age of Empires 4?" It's not like.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's one of these things where like I want to play more historic games and I want to get better, but good lord,
because then
it's gonna take some time. I need to retreat to CK3 for some comfort. I'm very good at CK3.
You can also play against very easy AI, and just focus on. Let's say keeping your money very low, as much as you can, and producing units, right? You can be like, I want to produce infinite number of spearmen as fast as I can, and just do that in a game, and produce it from as fast as you can, as soon as you can, produce lots of spearmen. First, I random unit, right? That's what I'm doing myself. I'm like, I'm gonna play the English, I'm gonna play Man at Arms, which is the early unit, and Horsemen, and that's it. Because otherwise, it's too much to follow, and I cannot keep up with the game. Because it's just a lot. It's very true.
It's so much, Jesus.
There's so much, yeah, for sure. But if you only focus on one, you probably won't win. But at least you have a big army and you can fight.
I think these are the types of games where if I like even the campaign, I'm kind of finding to be a bit. Yeah, I think I need to like. Well, when I was a kid, right, when I used to play Age of Empires 2 and then Age of Mythologies. I do a lot of like, I'm going to build a really pretty village and like it's going to be so efficient and it's going to have like the idealized supply lines and everything's going to be great. And then it's like as soon as I'd get attacked, it would just get raced to the ground. Because like, I guess in my brain, I'm not like prepared in any realistic or unrealistic way to get attacked.
Yeah. I mean, that happens to me as well. And I guess the reminder of the focus of the game is to actually kill the enemy, right? That's
the thing. I think I have to really shift my idea of this game to like being a battle game rather than a resource management
because it's not a
game.
resource management game at all. actually. Well, it is ultimately, but the key part is
It's such a small sliver of it. It's so
yeah.
it's so minute. Like you can pretty much just be as irresponsible as you want, as long as you've got a good army.
Yeah, well, in a sense, the original management it's a higher level of it when it's like, okay, your objective is to build an army, therefore, what resources do you need for that? And that's where the management comes in, right? I remember hearing a quote for StarCraft, which is a similar game to this, of a pro gamer. It was like, yeah, 100 would, let's say, make a huge difference in the game. It's like, what? It's nothing. It's like, it's not nothing, because then it affects all your timing. So when you get really high level, it's like, small management resources is important, but our level is like, are you constructing stuff all the time? Great. Do you always keep build villagers? Yeah, you can keep doing that.
Oh God, honestly, I'm so out of my league here. Like I clearly need to do like Age of Empires for babies course.
Try the Art of War is really good. Have you played those? Have you done those?
No.
do that. Those are really easy, especially economy ones, and you will walks you through how to build a reasonable economy and like how to fight in the battles. I'm not on the battle ones because I don't care, and probably it's useful to do. But the economy ones are great, and they're really.
I've just been doing the campaign, but
campaign
clearly,
is bad. Campaign is not very good. Campaign might be good for the game. Yeah, it might be good.
The story of it is really good. The way that they weave all of the parts together is really interesting. Although I have a lot of issues with it because they are trying to, they're like, okay, and then we're just jumping ahead 60 years, and it's like. 60 years is like a long fucking time. Like
it's
you can't
a long
just.
time. I mean,
but they don't address it.
They don't. If you think about it, but yeah, sorry. 2 points. Firstly, do play the Art of War, especially your economy and late economy. It takes 5 minutes. The first one, 10 minutes. The other one, and they're really good to get the grasp of like how to structure an economy proper. So that's a.
Oh my god.
Trust me. They explain you what to do. They're like, do this. Oh, you should probably do this now. And you're like, oh, okay. So it's quite easy. But yes, I agree. Also, think about it. In the game itself, you are moving through ages, right? In theory, each game is a span of hundreds of years.
Well, yeah, in theory, but
right? It's weird.
I think one of the big things is like they don't really properly quantify how much time is passing.
Yeah.
I was thinking that yesterday during the campaign. Was like I was probably taking a little bit longer to like build up a village I'd taken over, and I was building up my resources like for people, but also just the material resources. And I was like, how much time is passing? Like, there's no real good way. I don't think. Maybe I've dismissed it, but there's no good way to like tell. Am I taking weeks? Is this days? Is this minutes?
Well,
scale of time is very interesting.
Must be years.
Right, realistically, right, you'd probably be taking years if you're like sitting down like, I'm going to build 10 new houses. Like that's not gonna happen overnight.
But also, like, if you think about it, when you move to age, right, going from the Dark Age to the Imperial Age, or whatever, to not Imperial Age, the Castle Age, whatever the next one is, Feudal Age, that, let's call it 300 years, whatever, for 500 years, from the Roman Empire to the late 9th, 10th century. Right?
And this idea that you're like building a monastery, like those are ongoing projects. Like you can literally see that in the fabric of the architecture is that they are come and go in waves, and it's like that you can just like throw a villager on it and be like, I'll be done in a week, no big deal.
Just go. Like, it takes 20 seconds, great.
This is my 5th cathedral this week. It's fine. It's just like that's ridiculous.
That is.
And that's what I want. I want a cathedral building game. I want one where you have to manage your resources to build
a cathedral. That's awesome.
That would be so up my alley.
Maybe you should use our method of game construction and make a wee like not video game but board game-ish or like role-playing game for that. I think it would fit pretty well.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be fit really
well.
That
would be really cool.
We can discuss that. I wouldn't mind.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down actually.
That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, it falls into our role-playing game situation, right? Control resources. Maybe you need to discuss with the rest of your friends, players, whatever, like colleagues. Okay, where are we gonna put the money in? Right? Why? What's gonna happen if we do this and that? That sounds fun.
Oh, that would be really cool.
That's really fun. It's a good, cool Wii role-playing game. And you can be like, wait, you put money in that? Lol. That's gonna cause problems in the future. Next turn.
It would be great because there'd be really interesting. You could have like patrons, right? Because
Yeah.
this idea that you have patrons constructing these chapels throughout kind of the history of Gothic Europe and how they all kind of come out individually, and then you have sometimes they individually get destroyed when the cathedrals attack because these people don't like these patrons.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's speaking about that in the game. Like the idea of money and cost is totally also out of whack, right? Like cathedrals are expensive, castles are expensive, really expensive.
Yeah,
right?
they're so expensive.
Especially
They're so
cathedrals.
expensive.
Castles, they're expensive, but people build them really fast. That's just pretty cool as well. But it's still, very expensive. Put lots of money in, and you're just like, yeah, mine a bit of
But
gold.
the
You'll be
idea
fine.
that I think what I as a material historian, right?
Mhm.
My biggest problem with it is that they go up wholesale. Like they're like, okay, and now it's completely done. When in fact we know that they were built modularly.
Right, fair enough, yeah.
So it's like we'll build like the important. This is kind of holds with the cathedrals as well. Like they kind of construct the most important part first, and then they add to it when they can. When they have like money and resources.
Yeah, indeed.
And then in the game, they're literally just like,
Yeah,
okay, castle's done.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, it's a game, right? But it's a really interesting point to remember. Yeah, that's not. Now, nothing worse. And especially the expansion aspect, right? Like different leaders would use the same castle but enlarge it or like build a new room or a new whatever, right? And that's a really important way the castle's developed.
Right, like that's why no two castles look exactly the same because they're built.
They're all the same. All the cathedrals are the same.
All of the same. And like I totally get for obviously the ease of play and the ease of for the developers. Like you need to have some ability to replicate the same thing over and over and over again with consistency and accuracy. But like I don't know. I was also looking into this earlier today about like the historiosity of these games, and apparently the developers have like openly said for Age of Empires 2 and 3 that they're like, we don't really do a lot of research.
Really?
Like they're like they openly were like, we only really consult like very surface level stuff, and we purposefully avoid going into deep historical research. And this is I don't know if this holds for 4, but I suspect it doesn't. But they've been very open about.
You suspect it holds report? What does it mean?
So no, I suspect that something's changed for 4 because they're taking kind of a different approach in the way they're framing the campaign.
Right.
But it's interesting to me, right, that you have this like history themed game that appeals very specifically to history minded people, and they're like, nah.
I think that's the point. It does not appeal to certain people, right? I think that's also the idea. I think it appeals more to fantasy-minded people than history-minded people, I think.
I think it depends. I think it depends on what your perception of the game is.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because, like, in a lot of ways, it is very much just, it's another, like, kind of battle-oriented game with a veneer of history. So if you know it to be that, then you're like, man, who cares? But if you're like, oh my God, I get to play as like the Normans in 1066, then if you're a history dork, that might be appealing.
But that's the thing, right? If you're history dork and you go in for that, you're gonna be very disappointed very fast, no?
And like I similarly, kind of inversely, I think that's the case for Crusader Kings. If you go into it thinking like I'm going to lead an amazing battle, like you're gonna be disappointed.
You are.
The battle mechanics are not great in that game. And I think probably on purpose, they're not the focus. But like Crusader Kings makes you think,
I'm fighting.
Oh my God, I'm gonna do a crusade. This is gonna be great. And it's like you can, but it's not the same. Like it's not the point. It's not the focus.
Yeah. A game that has a good balance of both, I felt, was Total War. Have you played any of Total Wars?
No, I haven't.
Total War is interesting where there's like is a mix of Crusader King where it's the resource management is like Crusader Kings, so it's like high level, slower, not so intense. But then the battles are like Age of Empires, right? Where you control the units
That sounds
by
interesting.
groups.
That sounds
it
really
is quite interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, and I think they focus quite a bit on history. I didn't really. I must admit, like I'm bad at playing. I get bored quite easily. I played like either that or it's very addictive, right? Because it's turn based as well, so it's like easy to get addicted to those games. So I played lots of Shogun too, based in Japan. And I don't know how historical it was. It seemed pretty. They done lots of research in it, but lots of written on like each weapon on each unit and whatever, right? And their history and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
cool. It is cool. Yeah, it's very cool. People are like, oh yeah, Total War medieval Europe. That's why I know about history in medieval Europe, right? It's like, oh cool. You know, nobody says, oh, I know history because of Age of Empires. You know.
Well, you know what? I feel like there are some kind of maybe
People that don't
internet
know.
trolls out there who are like, I completed Age of Empires 2, 3, and now 4. I am a history like major.
Like, yeah, well, you know, I know
They're
that
like,
history course
well,
don't do much, but it's
well, I don't know.
No,
There's
it's
always going to be people like that, right?
right, for sure. But that feels very much like primary school bragging. I don't know if you had that in primary school. It's like,
Yeah.
I play FIFA. I know the rules of football. Those would be a fault for sure. The referee in FIFA called it a fault, and therefore in the playground in the primary school garden, this is a fault. You get a yellow card, and it's like we're just children playing in a field. What are you on about? What? Who smokes?
I feel, you know what though, it's kind of funny in reverse, where, you know, talking about video games and video games in history, part of the expertise, right, comes from playing a lot of video games, which is probably a qualification for zero else in life. but you can be like, I've played a lot, I have a lot of experience, and I've had a lot of different types of video games that I've played, and like suddenly this thing which literally counts for nothing else in life suddenly can kind of count for very real and viable experience, and you know, using it to critique other things.
You mean for game design, really, though?
Yeah, like yeah, or just, you know, game reception, or
like,
you know,
of course. I mean, that's not gaming. If you're good at games, you can, you know, be professional in it. It's like a sport, right? Ultimately, it's a bit like being a football fan, a football buff. Lots about football. He plays a lot of football. Yeah, maybe you're fit too, which games don't
That's
necessarily
true.
give you that. But really, what does it give you beyond being good at the game? Well, you can critique about it, right?
Yeah, you can talk shit about it.
Exactly, right? Yeah. But I think at least it's definitely a positive, right? Would agree that like having a game that focuses on history, whether it's super accurate or not, is overall a positive for like knowledge of the period and interest in history.
Yeah, I think it's really, overall, I think anything that gets people interested, like lay people interested in history, and if it, you know, even looking at a Wikipedia page, I think that's all net positive. But like I do draw issue. It's like, come on, guys, like we haven't, you know, the first game came out in 1997, like we haven't in any way updated the way we're referring to like the Middle Ages. We're all like, nah, it's the dark period.
Yeah,
Like they're all backwards savages. It's like, that's not true. We know that.
True.
Like we've known that.
Yeah, we're done.
Like
Been there, done
we
that,
could probably change that term. You know, like small, tiny things
That's
to
really
just
interesting because I have
make it a little bit more.
My family is really big into Age of Empires, and I played lots of it when I was younger, right? And it's very attached to the namings and the structure of the old games. And I think many people get really upset if you changed, like, not very, very, very upset if you change the name of this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an outcry from the player, be like, "What? That's always been the arcade."
I think that's definitely. I mean, that happens with all fandoms, right? You know, if you change anything, even if it's like we're trying to move towards more realism or just more accuracy, people are still like, "But I don't like it."
The old game was better, right?
Yeah, like if people, you know, if it goes beyond what they have, these kind of preconceived notions of the game, you know, they're like, well, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, it depends on what you're trying to go for. If you're going for like a complete reboot of the series, therefore it must kind of hinge on nostalgia, sure. But if you're trying to, like, in some way, which I think Age of Empires 4 is trying, you know, because that's, I think, why they're kind of framing these things as these mini documentaries between campaigns.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they should do a little bit more in, like,
Yeah, that's
Let's
true. I agree
try to
completely.
get things like towards realism.
Yeah, I
Not it
agree
doesn't have to be
completely, yeah.
exact, but like nudge
At
it a
least
little bit more.
nomenclature, yeah, for sure. No.
There's certainly, those. I'm sure this has been the panel or the topic of many panel discussions about the Middle Ages in popular culture. But like, there
Probably.
can be some sort of balance, right, between like the fun stuff and like the stuff everyone knows, and then also the truth of what our research has revealed.
Uncovering from the now, because the whole thing of Dark Ages is not like new. It's like of the past 40 years we've been aware that the Dark Ages is kind of like even
Right,
more
we've
than that,
known
right?
it.
It's like
We've known this for
we've done
so
this for a
long.
long time, right? Yeah, we're in Enlightenment that we're kind of like dicks about the past, but now we have a bit more of an open mind on it.
But like even then, like I was, I wasn't in high school that long ago, and I still learned about it as the Dark Ages, as this kind of, void of 600 years between like, oh, the Romans are so great, and oh, look, the Italian Renaissance, how wonderful,
God.
and then everything between that was
that's
just garbage.
that's like 800 years more than 600. That's a long
I'm stretching these dates in either direction very,
Yeah.
very much. But
No,
yeah,
yeah,
that general idea of like when you learn this very basic level of world history, right? It's this kind of like, and then you can just kind of skip Europe for the next 1,000 years. You can come back,
come
when
back
the
when things are
Italians are doing
interesting.
interesting things. It's like,
Yeah. But that's
I get it, but
I think that goes down to, and then probably should stop the stream and close the chat at some point. But I feel that also goes down to the problem of the giganticness of history, right? Like, it's really hard, and it's not an excuse, right? But it's probably where it's come from. It's like really hard to, in high school especially, or like even beforehand, explore the whole of the history, right? Because it's gigantic.
true. No, that's definitely true.
And I feel that like many courses, especially like international courses, focus only on like contemporary history. That's it. You just do contemporary history, full stop, right? 20th century.
Well, so I agree with that. I do
That's
think
bad.
that we're limited. History's happening literally all the time. It never ends, et cetera, et cetera. But like, you can describe something that you're going to skip over. Be like, we're just not going to talk about medieval Europe. You can say that without also endowing it with like this certain negative
without saying
connotation.
lies about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can be like, we're just not going to talk about this for whatever reasons. Like, I'm making an executive decision. We're not doing it, without being like, and they're all dummies who can't read.
They're all numpties. That's what it was. Nobody read a word at the time. All Latin, all the time.
You could you can do both. You can definitely skip over large portions of history or geographic areas, with reasons or not reasons if you don't want to,
don't
without
say anything, right?
mischaracterizing.
Don't mention it.
Right. Don't instill this idea that like literally people sat on their asses for 1,000 years doing literally nothing until the Italians were like, perspective?
Wait, we should do something.
Right, like
why
that's
are we
not
just
how it
standing
happened.
here?
You could just say nothing about it, and people would just probably assume like the Roman Empire fell and that sucked, but like people still did stuff.
Yeah. Or they wouldn't know, and they're like, "What happened then?" Like, I have no idea. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, just go on Wikipedia.
Just Wikipedia it up, I must say that like Italian middle school does a pretty good job of going through medieval history, very very broadly, but we like cover the basic ideas and like, oh, the Lombard kings, and it was like fighting from Byzantine, and then like, a bunch of stuff happened, and like suddenly we have the investiture contest, and there's emperor coming down. We cover quite a bit.
I do wonder if that's because, that's in Europe, and so that's maybe considered more localized. Whereas like in the United States, I took like AP level world history for 2 years. Because the course is so long, I had to break it up into 2 years.
Is it 2 years? I thought it was
yeah.
One. Oh wow, okay.
No, so my high school, we broke it down into 2 full years of AP world history, and then the end of your second year, you took the exam. Yeah. So like I learned a great deal. Like my first year was like a lot of prehistory, like learning about like the ancient civilizations, pretty much up until I think we ended with the Roman Empire, and then like, which seems like, I mean, it's a whole year for covering 6,000-7,000 years of history. I'm being very generous there. And then when we picked it up the next year, it was pretty much the fall of Rome until like World War II,
Ooh,
which seems
that's
super unfair.
madness. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it was just like, I don't know why we're splitting it this way. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And so I feel like I learned a lot about like Mesopotamia and like the Akkadians and the Babylonians and, you know, like all of these ancient civilizations. Like, I know a lot about ancient Egypt, and I know like a lot about like the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans. And then it's like,
In Rome, Italy,
basically
yeah,
up
Middle East,
until like
yeah.
the Renaissance and the medieval period, they kind of get compressed and turned into like the highlights. And then it kind of is like, well, we also have to cover a little bit of American history. So we got to like rush up until the 18th century, and then we can kind of slow it down for the last like 2 months and talk about everything.
That feels such a. I mean, it feels so bad. That feels not good at all, man. I mean, it's much worse in Italy. Worse like this, I don't know, because it's much more consistent, right? Like the Italian high school, it's much more consistent across the board. You don't really pick your classes. Everybody does history, right? It's not like people don't do history. You must do history wherever you do. If you go to a high school and not a technical school. And like, I think you do start. I did also the ancient civilizations, and then you go to like, yeah, you go from Rome in 5 years. You go from Rome to today, right? I think you start in the first year of high school and you end in the last year of high school with. We start with the Greeks. Greeks are important.
I think that's
Greeks,
supposed to be how we break it up, but with the AP people, it like changes. Well, yeah, we have 4 years, right?
4, yeah.
But then, so I think, so I took like the advanced courses all throughout high school, so I don't know exactly, but from what I remember, it did for like non-advanced students, whatever, it got broken up to a kind of section of history every year, ending with in your senior year, you took like American history, which is weird, but they only mean like colonial America to the present. They don't mean any indigenous history at all, which is ridiculous. Yeah. But like, so I think they broke it up more or less in a similar fashion. I just don't know that we focused so much on like the individual kind of eras of European history, just because like there is this view in America, right, of like, why would a high schooler in America need to know maybe say the investiture controversy?
Yeah.
Right. Like that has nothing to do with America, and not that you need to have anything to do with history to learn it, but I think in these kind of weird, I don't know, brains of American educators.
It's like that everywhere. Like it's like that everywhere. You think about it, right? Each country teaches its own history first, which makes sense because you're living there.
I feel like it depends on where you go, I guess, because I think some people don't even learn very good American history.
Right. Fair,
like in the South, they learned that the Civil War is a war of northern aggression,
really?
And they're like, wasn't about
commonly taught?
Yeah, that's in the South. Yeah, that's apparently very common. I met some people who it came up in conversation.
I'm curious, like the extent of that.
So it depends. So this was where I heard about this was in Louisville, Kentucky, which is not actually in the South. And it wasn't part of the Confederate States. It was a neutral state.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it has adopted a very kind of South adjacent attitude to themselves.
Yeah.
And I was talking to some people, this was like 2012, 2011, about the Confederate flag and like why we learn, in high school, like obviously it's a bad thing and you shouldn't put it up. And if it's signaling bad things about you. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, that's not what we learned in high school.
We learned the opposite,
Yeah, we learned that, the war was only started because the North got, they were too involved in states' rights and the South wanted to correct that. Really? And they're like, the slavery really wasn't an issue at all. It wasn't anything we were all fighting about. And it was like, what? It like two very, very, very different perspectives of it. And they're like, it's commonly kind of framed as the War of Northern Aggression, which is wild.
Like, so
a very loose interpretation.
Very loose interpretation of the Civil War, yeah. Holy God, that's madness.
Yeah, so like even in the United States, like you've got a lot of very different ideas about how history should be taught, and it's like currently being very politicized anyway, and oof.
To me, in a sense, it's also awesome. It's terrible, right? But what's awesome about it is the importance of history. Like, it kind of gives us the idea, okay, well, this is why history is important. Because if you teach it in a very politicized manner, you can really build hate really easily, right? Like,
right, you can really, if you cherry pick, which is what a lot of these people do.
Yeah.
If you cherry pick for like, no, look, we're all fine. Like, there's a thing on Twitter today about how there's a debate, and I'm doing air quotes here, a debate of whether or not the Constitution of the United States was pro or anti-slavery. But it's like, there's no debate. Historians know it was very much pro-slavery. It was written with the explicit idea to be, well, like carving out this giant exception for the, you know, civil liberties and rights of men and women as long as they're white. You know? And that was really explicit. There's no debate, but like people who want there to be a debate have other motives in mind.
Yeah, it's interesting.
History is wild.
History is wild. I think it's more like, why do we study history? This is why we study history, right? One of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons is because if you don't know your past, you can make it up, and sometimes it's fun. And also there's like, I think there's a big importance of like, oh, I like the idea. We see what people have done in the past, so we maybe don't do it ourselves as well. To an extent, you know, of course, it doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it is true that we are humans and we believe in a very similar way. And so we're like, oh, we did that in the past 5 times and it didn't end up well. Maybe we shouldn't do it again. Maybe we shouldn't do the same thing again.
It's all like, this kind of ties in. I've got this like project in the back of my mind that I really want to write about, but it's about Luigi Pirandello and his kind of use of absurdism to write about like the 11th century in his play Enrico V. And it was performed really explicitly for the fascists that were like in like 1922 in Italy, who were like just kind of coming to power. And he like kind of takes history as we know it and he turns it on his head and he makes fun of it, but in a way that like favors this fascist notion of like the state versus the church. It's a really interesting, it's like literary history rather than like art history, which is where kind of my specialty, but like it's a very interesting look of like part of this grander picture of like why Matilda never rose to the same fame as like Joan of Arc. You know, how like Joan of Arc is like globally known as this Christian hero. And like, I think that part of the fascist movement of the early 20th century in Italy had a lot to do with why Matilda never really came to that same fame.
Really? Wow,
I think so, yeah. Because you have, during this period, you have, even going back earlier into the 19th century, you have the Germans who are kind of consistently already framing this historic issue as, you know, like the walk to Canossa, and very much putting it on the lines of the state versus the church, and the state needing to be excised from the church itself. And like a lot of that being deeply involved with this build up to fascism in Europe during the late 19th and early 20th century. So I think in there somewhere, obviously this is why it's still like a very proto project, but like I think that's got something to do with why she never really rises to that like extreme level of like notable woman of history.
Yeah. That's interesting. Also, of course, I think much more than Joan of Arc, like not just with fascism, but also with Protestant Reformation, right? Like the whole German separation of church and state falls into before the fascist thing. There is also that. Also, we side note that makes, instead of a national hero, it makes a church hero, which doesn't sit down well with the Protestants, right?
Right, exactly, right. Because to this point, she has been like kind of shuffled away, rather than being like a kind of a marker of Italian history. She's a marker of the church's history.
Yeah. And that goes down to complication of Italy and its relationship with the church, and how like it's both strongly identified but also strongly not, especially as you say, the fascists, but not just fascists, right? Like the Mussolini made the Concordat with the church. Like the last attacks are Mussolini. Before it was a much worse relationship with the church.
The whole relationship between the church and Mussolini is so fascinating.
It's interesting, yeah, for sure. I don't know too much about it. I know that before it was you couldn't be an Italian politician and be Catholic.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Catholic Church came. Basically, they made a deal with Mussolini. That's how they got the Vatican kind of excised from Rome as an independent state. That was part of their deal.
Mhm.
It's all Oh, I
complicated.
just think it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating for sure. Right, Dr. Bhatt, thanks so much. I probably should close the stream and the call.
Are you still streaming?
Well, we streamed, I think it was a great conversation. I think that's good. We streamed it, to be honest. That was a really good one. Probably should
For posterity.
I probably should like cut it away and put a separate video. No, I think it was a very interesting one actually. Both discussing history and
talking history is always fantastic, and
Yeah,
and honestly, anytime games I can play a game and then be like, but also this is work.
The history, yeah, this is also work, yeah. That's always good. All right, thanks a lot for that. That was good. That was a good transcription stream. Lots of
transcription stream where you played a game for more of it than you did transcribing.
I've not been transcribing in a while, which I think I'm happy with. I'm happy working because like it justifies my stream. To be honest, it's much harder to justify when I'm like I am actually only transcribing things. I don't need to transcribe instead of pushing forward documents.
It's a balance. You just need to have a balance.
Balance, yeah, for sure. I think I'm gonna play a bit more Age of Empires 4 now. Actually, probably tell it, see what my fiance is at, and then.
I have to make lunch. It's like 1 o'clock.
All right. Well, yeah, for me it's 5 p.m. So it's still an early time. Anyway, thanks a lot. I know if this weekend I can play some game. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Probably not. Actually, probably not.
Well,
next time.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Next time, hopefully, we get Francesca. That would be really fun. Now we can play the tree, and now we can defend you while you build things up.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay,
let me build your resources, and you all can like go to war.
Oh. Pretty fun. Right. Thanks a lot, Drew.